Hey, we're live, guys. This is Jeff here with eBay Addicts, and today my special guest is Jeremy from What the Hales. Oh, I can't. I just see a hand.
That was George's hand.
I know, but I didn't see her body. I just saw her hand. So, hey, introduce yourself, Jeremy, in case people don't know who you are.
I'm Jeremy, part of the What the Hales team here on YouTube, and the other part would be George, and that's pretty much sums it up.
Awesome. So tell everybody where you're at. I know you guys have been traveling a lot lately. Have you been like on vacation, or what's been going on with you?
Yeah, we went to, so we live in Ohio, and in Ohio you have Lake Erie, one of the Great Lakes up top. And in Lake Erie, there happens to be a number of different islands that most people don't actually know about. So I grew up on Kelly's Island. That was my first job ever, was driving speedboats on Lake Erie at a Christian camp on Kelly's Island. So 2 weeks ago, we went to Kelly's Island. We went out for a little vacation. We actually went back this week. So we went for one night. We went Petoskey stone hunting. If you don't know what a Petoskey stone is, it's a saltwater coral, and you find them in the fresh lakes. So that's a pretty amazing thing. The best part of it is that they're worth a ton of money. And we went up this past week. We were there Tuesday night and Wednesday, and weather conditions were absolutely perfect. There were high waves coming out of the north. It was complete and total overcast, and there was rain in the overcast as well. And you may think, man, that's horrible for getting away, but it's perfect when you're actually hunting for gold, when you're looking for Petoskey stone. We found more Petoskey stone. I probably have $10,000 worth of Petoskey stone sitting in my driveway in a tote right now. So we had a Hales of a time this week. And frankly, we're going back again this Monday through Thursday. So we're going to go back up and have a little bit more fun. We've been getting away, coming back working, getting away, coming back working. But even when we get away, it's still a side hustle, it's still a treasure hunt.
Awesome. So, Jeremy, how many days a week do you like work? I was watching your YouTube videos yesterday. I was checking about some today with your storage lockers and stuff. I mean, you kind of make your own hours, or you work like Monday through Friday, or how does your like work schedule work?
Whenever I want to. So basically, I'm in control of my schedule. So I get up when I want to get up, and I go to bed when I want to go to bed, and I work whenever I want to work. But me personally, George, how often do I work?
Around the clock.
Did you hear her? She said around the clock. So I'm a very driven individual. I typically never stop. And there's always something else that needs to be done. And I hold the philosophy of, not that you want to go this direction, but if you go all the way back into the Bible, God creates Adam and Eve, and then sin enters the Garden of Eden. And then God tells Adam, you're going to have to work the field, the sweat of your brow. So most people actually think that work is bad. It's a horrible thing. But God actually gave Adam work before sin entered the world. God told Adam, name every single one of these animals. Work actually gives us purpose. And so I have a tremendous amount of purpose in things that I want to accomplish. So I have a tremendous amount of joy in it. So that drive and passion that feeds into that work schedule. And there's never not something to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say being a full-time reseller and being on YouTube, and it seems like you always got stuff going on. I work 7 days a week too. People message me and say, "Well, what about a vacation? What about a day off?" I'm like, Did you have a flat tire? Like, what do you mean a day off? Like, we're working today. Like, is the sun up? Is the moon out? We're working, bro. So I'm with you on that, man. So how have things been going for you?
Going really well. Resell during COVID was amazing. It was like Q4. Yeah, it was just Christmas came early. So reselling during COVID was just outstanding. And then if you add on top of that, you add on top of that YouTube. YouTube for us has been incredible. The past 3 months we've hit record after record after record as far as what we can do with YouTube, and it continues to grow. So we've been thrilled with reselling. We've been thrilled with YouTube, and the next thing on the list is getting a house down in Florida, somewhere near you, out in the country.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm out here in Tampa, man. You guys got to come down and hang out sometime. I'm down here near, yeah, I'm here where Rally Roots and Rockstar Flipper is.
Yeah.
I'm down here in Tampa area. But yeah, man, you guys got to come down and visit sometime. Yeah, I'll look me up or send me an email or Instagram. We'll come hang out. We'll do a collab like that video you put out today. That'd be cool. So,
Yeah, we did a good one. Yep.
yeah, you have to, you have to come down and check it out. Especially the beaches down here by Clearwater. They're nice. Clearwater, Sarasota area. It's nice on this side. So,
Yeah.
So tell me, what platforms do you guys resell on? I know you're on eBay. What other platforms do you sell locally, like on Facebook Marketplace or Let Go, Offer Up?
And so I have one employee. She manages what I would call household goods. Okay. And so she cares for everything that would be household goods. Let's just say I buy a storage unit and I buy a vacuum cleaner, or I have couches, or I have dressers or furniture. She's in charge of all of that in the warehouse. And
yeah. Oh, lost him for a second. Jeremy, you there? I think we froze up for a second, buddy. Jeremy?
She gets commissions here. You got me now?
You're good. You froze for a second. I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. Facebook Marketplace is huge for us in our area, and I know that's going to be area dependent for where people are in the region and the country. But I have an employee that she cares for all of those things that would be considered, household goods, furniture, things along those lines. And she gets a commission she gets 25% commission based on what she sells. So Facebook Marketplace is going to be the first place that she goes. And she'll typically go there pretty quick with all the furniture, and that stuff sells really quick. Other household goods, she might use Let Go, Offer Up. Does Tammy use anything else that you know of?
She does flea markets, like at her church.
Oh, she'll do church flea markets, things like. So she'll say, "Hey, can I take this stuff to the church flea market?" And I'll go, "Yeah, I don't care, whatever she can do to sell it." So all those household goods, those would be Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Offer Up and Let It Go and things like that, or just a local sale. We'll actually open the warehouse up to the public on the weekends. And when I say we, it's not actually us, it's Tammy. And then for anything that would be collectible, something that would generally, if it would sell for more than $10, then it's probably going to go on eBay. And the reason why it would go on eBay is because eBay is the largest platform with the most amount of people looking to purchase an item. And so the marketing level there that eBay provides you're guaranteed. If you are listing appropriately, you're guaranteed a sale. So it will sell. So then that gets listed on eBay. We don't fiddle with Mercari, or we don't fiddle with Poshmark. We just don't fiddle with them because they're not the selling power that eBay is, or even Amazon. We don't fiddle around with Amazon either because each platform has their own intricacies, their own pros, their own cons, and for us, when we want to sell something, eBay is the place to sell it because that's where the people are.
Yeah, for sure. So how long have you been a reseller now? And you said your sales have been up. So has it been like, how has it been compared to like last year? Has your sales been like double since they were last year, or how has your sales been overall?
Oh, compared to last year, I didn't focus on selling as much as I did YouTube. Last year, my whole goal was to push as hard as I possibly could to build a YouTube channel and to see what YouTube could actually do as a performance metric. And so last year, that as far as what's in my hands, that I did no selling. And frankly, right now, I don't do any selling right now. I have employees that do that. So, and that's a nice place to be, but you have to push and you have to scale your business accordingly. So there was a greater emphasis last year on building the YouTube business without placing a greater emphasis on the resale business. The resale business was just doing what it always was, whereas there's a greater emphasis this year on the resale business and the YouTube business. So Sales are probably up this year compared to last year, although I don't have any metrics in front of me or looking at anything. As far as previous years before YouTube, they're going to be down because the previous years before YouTube, I put all of my emphasis in eBay and selling, whereas now I'm split in between YouTube, reselling, things along those lines.
Hey guys, we're live with What the Hell. So if you have questions or comments, drop it in the chat and we will get to it. So, Jeremy, so how long have you been a reseller now?
As long as I can remember. You know what? Here's the silly thing. I remember in kindergarten. Okay, I remember in kindergarten finding these little shampoo bottles that were empty that my parents had at the house. They were empty. Like kind you would find at a hotel. And mom having this other shampoo that smelled like strawberries. And I filled it in these little bottles of shampoo. And I took them to kindergarten and I was selling them to the kindergartners. That's probably my earliest memory of reselling. I was taking bulk strawberry shampoo, putting it in smaller bottles and selling it to kindergartners.
Taking their milk money.
So taking their milk.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been doing it. Honestly, I've been reselling from the very beginning. When eBay came out, I was on it. So since I was a teenager, I've always done auctions, always done reselling, always had a hustle going, always found a way to make more money. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. We try to ask people a little bit about your backstory. So let's say between the time you graduated high school until now, what's going on? Like, what were you up to? Did you go to college? Were you like working different jobs? Like, what were you up to ever since then? From kind of like your backstory a little bit.
Well, I'll try and give the abbreviated version. So very first job ever was driving speedboats at a Christian camp, Camp Patmos on Kelly's Island, Ohio. Absolutely loved that job and would go back to it in a heartbeat. forget reselling. I don't mind driving speedboats all day. From there, I went into construction. So I was building houses, trying to actually generate enough income to buy my own house and actually start a family. So from that point, my phone's ringing. Let me silence that. From that point, let's see, what was I doing? So from that point, I actually transitioned into factory work. I was working for Goodyear and their polyurethanes. So the highest end chemical plastics that you could. And so, for example, and this is going to sound so silly, but for example, I was working on the products such as female condoms. The product I was creating was making those drivers airbags in their seat belts and things along those lines. And then from there, I had enough money at that point, which sounds silly because I was 22 or 23. And I went, all right, I'm done working in the factory. I'm going to go to college. So the goal was generate enough income, go to college. I went to Appalachian Bible College. I pulled a double major in Bible theology and Christian camp administration. And then from there, I went to work on my master's. I went up to Michigan and I was working on my master's through the summit, which is in Pennsylvania. And I got my master's in organizational leadership. And then from there, came back to Ohio to be a part of a Christian camp and conference center, Skyview Ranch, where I was executive director for 8 years. And all through all of this, I was a landlord, I was an eBay reseller, and I had side hustles going everywhere. Which is why I could just pick up and go to college with a family, which is why I could just go, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. And then basically, long story short, that gets me to where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I meet George, and the rest is her story.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know how you guys met, but for the viewers on the live stream, can you tell everybody how you guys first met? And when you guys first met, did everything go well, or was it kind of like on the rocks when you first met, or how did tell the viewers the story?
It was horrible. So I was a prison guard, and she was in a jail cell. And,
oh my gosh, I don't think that was true, Jeremy, but go ahead.
Okay, so we met on a dating app. We met on a dating app called Hinge, and I was pretty sure that her profile was fake, and she was pretty sure that my profile was fake. And so we decided to meet each other halfway. and a Buffalo Wild Wings to prove each other that our profiles weren't fake. And I don't. Would you say the first meeting went well? She's shaking her head. She said, "Yeah."
It wasn't a meeting. It was a date.
She says it's not a meeting; it's a date. So apparently, the first date went well. The second date was horrible, and it was not good. And then on the third date is when she said she fell in love with me. So,
Oh yeah.
so the second date was at Perkins. And so we are at Perkins, but they closed at midnight, right? We had to be out of there by 11. So we had to be out of there by 11. And she couldn't get there till 9 because of work. So, and she was off and I was off, and in regards to, awkwardness and all of that. But then the third date, then everything clicked, and she said she fell in love with me on the third date. So
no, that's when I realized I liked you.
No, you said you fell in love with me. You realized you loved me. Oh, she's changing it all now.
Oh yeah,
changing it all.
I saw your live stream the other day, and you licked that rock, and you told George to lick it. She was just like, "Hales no!" Like her eyes got this big. She was not having it, man. She was like, "Hales no!" So that's awesome. So, how long have you guys been together now?
2 years, 2 months, 1 week, 3 days. 17 hours and 23 minutes and
oh my gosh,
9.
You got the countdown ready? Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So tell everybody about your YouTube journey. Like, what made you start YouTube? How long have you been on YouTube now?
What made me start YouTube was a fluke, complete and total fluke. And I never thought that anybody would ever watch anything that had to do with anything I was doing on YouTube. And so I was with somebody else before I met George, and she had said, "Hey, we should make a YouTube channel. People would watch." And I was like, "Yeah, right." And she was right. So I basically said, "You create the channel, I'll start creating videos." And I made videos with her daughter, which there may be 1 or 2 videos still with her daughter on there, but in the original beginning. And so it became an activity because every child loves, seeing themselves in the mirror and taking videos of themselves and pictures, and they love seeing themselves. So it became something that she and I did on a regular basis because I was self-employed. So during her summer vacation, she was with me nonstop, 24/7. And so it was something that we would do. We talked about, well, what should we do for a video? And then at one point, I was going to a storage unit auction, which I've always done anyway, and reselling. And I videoed it, and it actually got some views. And I went, maybe there's something actually here. And then I did an unboxing. I did like a 50. We were just talking about it today. The very first unboxing video I ever did is like a 55-minute video, and it has over 500,000 views on it. And when I saw, I was like, why would anybody want to watch this? I was just dumbfounded, completely and totally dumbfounded. And we were just literally looking at it today. It's like, hey, that's the first unboxing video I ever did. It has over 1 million views. That's insane. And
really?
So, I was dumbfounded. And then I didn't do anything with YouTube. And I just was kind of like, whatever. And then and 5 months later, then I met George. And then I told George, I was like, I want to try this. I want to see what it'll do. And I asked her, you want to be a part of it? She said, nope. And she goes, I'll support you. And then I tried to see what it would do. And every day we were just dumbfounded with what it was actually doing. And then she was like, all right, I'll be a part of it. When she saw it was growing, it was successful. And that's, just like anything else, you have to continue to water and feed anything, whether it's resale, whether it's YouTube, or it will die. And you have to continue to, adapt and figure out those successful veins where you're going to be successful in that business. And YouTube is, frankly, it's a business. You're selling something. You're selling yourself. You're selling entertainment. information, inspiration, and the commodity that you're trading it for is people's time. And so that's worth more than any money you could ever make. You're asking people to give of their time to view the content that you're making, and that's a pretty precious transaction that I think needs to be guarded and cared for. And so in regards to YouTube, we hold really tight to the way we do our videos and the direction that the channel goes, because we think it's a high responsibility. But in a nutshell, that's the way the journey has been.
All right, so give some people some tips, guys. We're live with What the Hales. If you don't know his channel, you got to go check it out. He has like 250,000 subscribers now, so which is awesome. I watch his videos, and I come by and hang out at the live stream sometimes. So give people some advice if they want to start a YouTube channel. How do they go from 0 subscribers to 200K? Like, it doesn't happen overnight, right?
No, it's never going to happen overnight. But
unless you know Mr. Beast.
Well, unless you get a shout out from like Mr. Beast or or a bigger channel. So if you can get a shout out from a bigger channel, then yeah, it could happen overnight. But even the reality is what we've accomplished rarely does not happen for 99.9999% of the people that attempt it. And the reason is very simply this: they give up. That's it. They give up. So tip number 1 is you have to be consistent. You just have to keep doing it. That's it. It really is that easy. Now, we also always say that YouTube is the easiest hard thing or the hardest easy thing you'll ever do. Because YouTube as a platform and putting content out on the platform, it's very easy. But to understand how the platform works is not so easy. So number 1, if you want to be successful on YouTube, don't give up. You have to keep doing it. When you put out one video and you go, oh man, nobody watched it, I'm never going to put a video out again. Well, you only put out one video. That's like going to a library with one book. Whoever wants to go into a library, looks into a library and goes, oh, there's one book here. This isn't much of a library. They walk out, they go to a library where there's a ton of books, or a movie store, or you name it, right? You don't go to a rock concert and hope that you hear one song. So you have to build up that consistent library of content. And really that verifies your channel to the viewers, and honestly to the actual YouTube system as well. So the more videos that you have, the better your odds of growth. But you have to be careful in that, because you have to have quality. So you can't just throw out garbage and hope that it sticks. And the reality is that some garbage on YouTube does stick. But that's the extremes. You have to focus on 2 things. If you're going to grow a YouTube channel, 2 things you have to focus on. Number 1, you have to get them to click on your thumbnail. Now, we hear the term clickbait all the time. And the reality is most people that use that term clickbait have no concept of what clickbait is. So,
Jeremy, it's pretty it's kind of similar to eBay, where you want someone to click on your item, so the click-through rate is the same. It's the same thing.
It is exactly. So every reseller, because all of the principles relate directly and apply directly to YouTube, every reseller should have a thriving channel, because all of the same principles apply. So eBay, a picture isn't worth 10,000 words. A picture is worth $10,000. Your click-through rate, or getting people to click on your thumbnail, is most important. You have to get them to click on the thumbnail. So YouTube figures out what the click-through rate is. If they show my video to 100 people, and only 5 people click on my thumbnail, that's a 5% click-through rate. In YouTube's world, 5% click-through rate is considered success. That's huge. Now, I was looking at a video yesterday. The video was broadcasted out to almost 40 million people. I got 1 million hits on it. So that's a very, very small percentage as far as click-through rate. That's what you want to focus on. Now, people say clickbait all the time, and they don't understand what clickbait is. So clickbait is when you show a picture that has absolutely nothing to do with the content of your video. So let's say a lot of people on YouTube, and we'll just go this route because we know sex sells, right? A lot of people on YouTube, they're going to throw a scantily clothed woman in the thumbnail. All right. So you're going to see the body of a woman, and yet then they go and watch the video, and then that woman is not in there with that lack of clothing on. That's clickbait. They baited you to click, but then they didn't give you what they promised. So if, for example, in today's video that we released, we talk about is hidden in the jewelry box. You see a jewelry box. There is a jewelry box, and there's jewelry in the jewelry box. That's not clickbait. If people click on that, that's great marketing. And so this same as fishing, you got to find the lure that draws in the fish. So one of the things, and this ties into the third thing that'll help you be successful on YouTube. One of the things we ask every time we film, what's the story? What's the story? What's the story? What's the story? What's this? Every single time. What is the story? Every time we film, there has to be a story told. And when you're telling a compelling story, then what happens is you captivate your audience and they want to keep watching. In YouTube's world, the more they watch, the more YouTube will take your video and put it in front of more people. That's called your average view duration. So the very first thing you have to do is you have to not give up. You just have to consistently do YouTube. The second thing is you have to have the best thumbnails out there. And I'm flabbergasted at resellers who understand that principle on eBay and other platforms, but don't apply it at all on YouTube. And then they go, why am I not successful? Because your thumbnails, frankly, are horrible. You have to apply the same principles in reselling because you are selling. You're asking people to give you their time. And then that increases your click-through rate. And then you have to tell a compelling story. Think of this as your item description in reselling. You've got to give people a reason to actually watch, to read, and then go, I want to buy that. And so that story has to be told. You have to increase your average view duration. If you have a 20-minute video, if people are watching consistently 19 minutes of that, that's YouTube gold. They will push that to everybody. But you also have to understand there are only so many people that are going to watch the subject matter of what you're doing videos on. So, for example, if I do a video on fishing, there are Hales of a lot more people out there who want to see fishing videos than they do resale videos. So you have to understand that grouping that YouTube is going to show your videos to, depending on what it is as far as a category, could be limited. We often call that a niche. So our success is based on always crossing over into another niche. Our titles and our stories always cross over into another niche to pull people. We cross to another niche. We cross to another niche. We do it all the time on purpose. It's very, 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 very planned out in regards to, we ask the question, what's the story? What's the story? So we have, in a couple days, we have coin collection. We found a coin collection. And the title is Coin Collection. And the story at the end, the climax is, look at this. We found we found gold quarters that George gets in the casinos. So there's gold quarters. And that's a huge thing for coin collectors, which is a whole nother grouping and category. So why do we have the story coin collection? Why do we have it in the title, Coin Collection? Because we're crossing over to grab all those coin collectors and bring them in the resale world. And so those principles will help the YouTube channel be successful. Don't give up. Increase your click-through rate, increase your average view duration, and you can be extremely successful.
Yeah, it takes time. We had a guest on Monday, and he said that he's been filming YouTube videos for 5 years, and he has like over 600 videos in his library. So it takes time. You're not going to go from 0 to 600 videos in your library overnight. And it's kind of similar to eBay in a way. It's like for me, my goal this year is to have 10,000 items on eBay. Well, if you have multiple different items listed, you're going to get more sales because you got more items listed. So in that way, YouTube is similar. You want to have a more library of videos. If someone comes to your channel and like let's say I have 10 videos and you have 600 videos, well, they're going to be more inclined to buy or click through and go to your videos because there's 600 of them as opposed to 10, right? Does that make sense?
But you also have to have quality of video. So if you put out 600 videos that there is no storyline, it's just you doing whatever. All right. And there's plenty of channels that do that. I'm just going to do whatever. If they watch, they watch. That's a very poor business decision. You have to plan out that storyline. How are you going to increase that view duration? And that's how you determine success on YouTube. So everybody starts at zero. It depends on who's going to create a business plan and an actual strategy to grow from zero. So I can get to 600 videos, and there are channels that have 600 videos, but they don't have anywhere near the success that another channel with 200 videos has. Mm-hmm. And success in YouTube world isn't subscribers. We always think, you think it, I think it, everybody watching thinks it. They go, oh, there's many subscribers. What the hell's have that many subscribers? That means nothing. We could care less about our subscriber number. I mean, it's nice, but views are what mean everything in YouTube's world. So we're coming up on 60 million views. That's what we look at. 60 million views. The subscriber count,
not all our subscribers watch.
And not all of our subscribers are going to watch everything we put out or every day. So the subscriber count is good for your ego. If you need that for your ego, the views at the end of the day, that's what's good for building your YouTube business.
Right. I would just want to say hi to some of the guys. Hey, Flippin' Accountant. Hey, Bearded Veteran. Hey, LBX Picker. LBX Picker, he asked a question. He wants to know, how is your new YouTube channel going?
The new YouTube channel is doing great. We started What the ASMR, and that was birthed out of our viewers. They share with us so often about their anxiety, about different issues that they have in their life. And all business starts that way, right? There's a problem, and then an entrepreneur comes along and goes, I have a solution. And so we were on Kelly's Island. We were on vacation. I'd been talking to Conky's Flippin' Adventures about ASMR videos. I was up there talking to the executive director, Dave Sellers, about Camp Patmos doing ASMR videos. George and I were talking about ASMR videos. And literally our last day there, I was like, we need to do ASMR videos. I'm telling everybody else, and I'm telling George, she is here. And I'm telling George, I'm like, we have to do this. We're starting another channel. And we're going to do, so we started talking, should we call it What the ASMR? And we were trying to play on the words of ASMR. And finally, we just said, let's just do What the ASMR and meet that need. And honestly, for us, well, I'll say for me, making the ASMR videos are so much more fulfilling. Mm-hmm. And she just said, so much more fun, so much more fulfilling. Frankly, less stressful, so much easier.
For us.
It's ASMR for us, so it's our getaway too. And basically, what we're doing is setting the camera up and then going, enjoy. And we're enjoying it, and we just have a camera rolling, and then we go, all right, well, here it is. This is what we do when we're not filming. This is our life when we're not filming YouTube videos, and it's been extremely peaceful. We were just up at Kelly's Island Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. How many videos did I get? 4 ASMR videos. So we got 4 more ASMR videos. I've edited a total of 6 videos today. All I've done today since I've woke up is edit videos. So 6 videos got edited today, which is the most I've ever done in a single day. 2 of those were ASMR, so they're very easy. But I love it. The channel has 2,700 and some odd subscribers, but remember, subscribers mean very little in regards to YouTube success. Views are what mean everything. The views, I don't even know what the views have right now. All we want to do is every day we want to post a video and we want to have fun doing it. We want to meet a need for our viewers and enjoy it. And the ASMR community that watches that ASMR versus resale, let's say YouTube resale community is this on a bar graph. ASMR, you can't see it. And so we believe within a year, the ASMR channel will by far surpass the treasure hunting channel.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're just getting started. It takes time to grow. It doesn't just happen overnight. So can you tell me a little bit about you guys going around buying storage lockers? Because I drive a little Prius. I don't have a big truck or a big trailer. I don't have a big storage unit or a big warehouse. So I haven't been out there, but it looks like you guys have fun when you're out there going to these storage units. Now, what got you started with buying storage lockers? And if someone's there, like, can you give us some tips on if they wanted to buy some storage lockers, like what to look for, what to pass on? Like if they say, hey, I only want to bid $300 on this particular locker. Can you go into a little bit more on that, Jeremy?
Yeah. So the very first tip, if you want to learn how to buy storage units, I would say watch all of our videos on buying storage units, because we give tips in every single video. There's another tidbit. There's another tidbit. There's another golden nugget. And the reality is buying storage units is very easy. But what happens is people get wrapped up in the bidding process, and they do foolish things when they get wrapped up in the bidding process. So the very first tip that I would give, if you're going to go to a storage unit auction, if you've never gone before, just go the first time, no money, just go and watch and learn. That's it. Just go, watch, and learn, and see what the environment is like, see how things are handled. Every auction is going to be different depending on the facility, depending on the auctioneer. If you do go and you're planning on buying, you typically, and this is not 100% the case, but you need a valid driver's license as a valid ID. You need to have your own lock to place on the door afterwards, because now you legally own that. And 99% of the facilities are only going to accept cash if you go to a live auction. If you're bidding online, you need a credit card. And honestly, all that stuff I just said means nothing. So all of that is dependent upon your region. When buying a storage unit, one of the things I typically share is you want to find one item in that storage unit that you can immediately get the return on your investment. So let's say I just bought a storage unit last week for $170. And I saw the dresser in there, and I probably even said this in the video. I'm sure I said this in the video. The dresser in there, I'll get $200. Everything else is profit. And so that unit that I bought easily will turn $2,000, $3,000, maybe even $4,000 of profit. And for me, at my scale of business, I had to be at the auction. I had to load it. I had to film it. George and I filmed it. And then it'll go to the warehouse. I'll unload it, and then employees will sell it. So for me, that's a good investment. Find that one item that will pay for the unit. Don't gamble. I can't stress that enough. When we see people who just got tax money, and they go to the auction in April, and they just got a tax return. So let's say they're watching What the Hales, and this happens, and they see us at the auctions. They're like, yeah, I got my money. I'm going to make some money. And they bid on a unit any other time of the year. That unit would be a no sale. Nobody would even bid on it because it's pure garbage. And they'll throw $500, $1,000 around. You become a garbage man because you're not bidding appropriately. You're caught up in the environment of bidding, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to hit it big and I'm going to find all the same stuff that Jeremy finds. What people don't realize, even though we say it over and over and over and over again, I buy 1%. One out of every 100 units I see, look at 1%, and sometimes less than that. The past couple of months, we just bought 3 a weekend ago. The past 2 or 3 months up to that, I can't even tell you how many we looked at in person, online. They were all garbage. I would have never, ever spent money on them. I found one online for $150 that I bought. They were junk. They were garbage. And so I'm not going out there and gambling with money. I'm a businessman. I'm going out there and investing money and making money. Every unit I buy is a for sure profit. 100% absolute. I know I will make profit. I don't do any of this to lose money. And so you have to operate and discipline yourself like that. So if you're loose with money, this is probably not the best business for you. If you're disciplined with money, you're a good budgeter, then you easily can turn $50 into $500, $500 into $5,000, $5,000 into $50,000, and $50,000 into $500,000, and can go on and on and on from there.
Okay, yeah, I saw that video you put out the other day, and you're like, hey, I'm buying this locker. It was like $170, $175, and you're like, I can probably get $200 just for this one dresser. So yeah. You're already, with selling that one item, you're already at the break-even point, and then from there point on, everything else is profit. Now, when you go into these lockers, you have a bunch of stuff that is junk that you end up having to throw away or donate or get rid of. Like, what do you do when, what do you do? Like, you basically go in and clean the lockers out and then take it back to your warehouse, and then you kind of sort it out and sort out what's junk and what you want to keep. You're like, this is a trash pile, this is the keep, this is the donate pile, this is the resell pile. Like, how does that work?
That's exactly how it works. Everything goes in a trailer, and I use a trailer instead of a box truck on purpose. Trailer is much easier on the back and the body because this is a very manual labor job and position. And so a lot of people think I'm fat, and I am, but the reality is I'm also built like a brick house because I spend every day lifting. I don't go to the gym to lift. I don't have to. I literally am lifting every day I'm working. And so so I use a trailer. Everything gets loaded in the trailer, and then it will go to the warehouse. It'll be sorted in different directions. So it'll either go trash. That's a pretty easy one. Garbage is garbage. And then it'll go donation, and that's a pretty easy one as well as far as what goes into donation. It'll go into the warehouse to be sold as far as what we would call household goods. So it'd be Facebook. Tammy would take care of that, open to the public, whatever. It would also go, potentially, we may say we're going to send this directly to the auction house. So we have a local auction house, and I can send anything into my local auction house. And we have videos on that as well. Actually, in the description of every single video we put on YouTube, we have the videos that teach you how to make money. And we teach you, if you buy a storage unit, here's some ways that you can actually make money. And one of those is contact your local auction house. So the other avenue is going to be online on eBay. So it'll be sorted into the eBay pile. So our eBay death pile, we call that our profit pile, and it's huge. It's huge. There's no, I see OBX picker, Eric. There is no way that we will ever get through that pile within the next 5 years, and I'm completely okay with that. So one of our goals in our business is we don't want to spend winters in Northern Ohio anymore. So we want to go to Florida. We want to be south for the winter, but have employees continue to work up north. And we are setting things up for that, if not almost completely set up for that. And that way we don't even have to be there for the business. So we literally can get away for the winter. They keep working. They keep selling. They keep getting paid. Frankly, they're making. Here's the best part of reselling, guys. If you're going to hire an employee and they're listing for you, they're making their own salary. And so it's not like you literally have to go, oh, I'm pulling money out of my pocket to pay this person. That person is being paid by the work that they do. They're generating income. They're paying their own salary. So that's an awesome thing as well. And that's how it all gets sorted. It actually all gets sorted at the warehouse. The one area that I don't delegate is I have to do the sorting. It's been a very rare occasion where I allow anybody else to help sort. George, I let George help sort, and she's learned an eye for this stuff. But come on, the knowledge that you have, I don't have, because you know what you know about reselling, and I know what I know about reselling, and you know more about other things than I do. So it's very hard. It's very hard to go, all right, George, here's everything I know in one day, boom, about reselling. So you literally have to be with them over and over and over again. Yep, this has value. This has value. And then a lot of times you don't even know. You have to look it up and research it. So to do that with other employees, I can't spend that much time with them constantly, daily on a basis like that, because I need them to make and generate income in other areas. But George can help me sort, but it's very, very rare that anybody else helps me sort because I have to see the actual money items.
Yeah, I was going to say that's smart that you kind of have a death pile, and then like you said, you got 5 years worth of merchandise just sitting there in this pile, and then you can leave and be. Well, I'm just saying you could leave and you don't even have to be there. You could be in Florida, you could be chilling, and then you have your employees. They get paid on a percentage basis, right? They get paid on commission.
The Tammy, who does household and Facebook Marketplace and all that, she gets a commission. The employees who list on eBay, they get a flat fee.
Okay, and then so you don't even have to be there. They could just list items for you, and then were they going to box them up and ship them out when they sell, right?
They box it, they ship it. They were just here an hour ago shipping. So they ship at the end of the day. Yep.
Yep. So if you come to Florida, what part of Florida are you gonna go to? You thinking Miami? You thinking Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville? Like, what part do you like the best?
She's been looking at properties all north of Tampa. We want space. We want acreage and space.
Really?
Country living. Oh yeah, we want country living.
Well, hey man, I'm gonna have to. I'll send you a message on Instagram if you guys are gonna be out here in Tampa area. We're gonna meet up and hang out. That'd be cool with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll hang out. There's a nice restaurant down here in Tampa Bay area, and it's like right on the beach. And you can just sit there. Yeah, you have your dinner, you have your drinks. You can just sit there and watch the sunset over the ocean, and you can just go for a walk on the beach. It's nice. We'll
be there tomorrow.
I was gonna say when you come in town, just hit me up. I'll show you around. I'll be your tour guide.
Yeah, George would be right up that alley. She'd be all over that.
I bet so, man. I bet so. So I wanted to ask you a few more questions about reselling. So do you ever get in the heat of the moment when you're in one of these auctions and just be like overpay for some stuff where like maybe you only wanted to pay $300, but you spent $500 or $600 on this particular locker because you got in the heat of a battle of with the auction? Or do you just say, okay, I only want to pay $300. If it's a penny over $300, I'm walking away. Like how do you have that set up?
Let's ask George this. Have I ever done that? Do you know?
You go off of you.
I'm not like that. So, there are prideful bidders where they'll go, listen, I got more money than you and you're not going to get this no matter what. And that is not me. There's a unit for everybody. I don't need every unit, nor am I looking for every unit. So I set a limit, and that's what the limit is. I'm a businessman, and if I can't see the profit, I don't bid. And so that's just not my personality like that. I'm very disciplined in business, financial stewardship. I mean, pretty much, I'd say every aspect of my life, I guess. I'm a very organized, disciplined individual, even if I'm a personality on YouTube that doesn't look that way. But I'm a very precise and very organized and very disciplined in regards to all of those things. I don't get caught up in that stuff. And you've never seen me. I've seen me do anything dumb at the.
You make calculated risks. You don't gamble.
Yeah, she just said what I always say. I always make calculated risk. And so there's a risk no matter what, but it's a calculated risk to where you limit your risk because you can see your purchase price, and then you can see there's profit on top of that. So some units I buy, I mean, I could make 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. Some I may make only 5 grand. Some I only make 2 or 3 grand. But it's a calculated risk. I never bid over what I can see, and I'm very disciplined in that. And frankly, it's been very fruitful.
Do you have some where it just is a stinker and you just break even on the deal? Maybe you paid $300 or $500 for the lockers and it just didn't pay out. I mean, it happens, right?
We don't buy like that. So okay. Yeah, it happens to a ton of people. If you buy the way that we teach you to buy, then no, that does not happen. So if you're just gonna go out there and go, well, I'm gonna gamble and I think there's 300 in there, then yeah, that's going to happen to you. You're going to lose money. We do not lose money because you discipline yourself. I see the dresser I can sell for 200. Everything after that would be profit. I get the unit for 170. It's a no-brainer. It's a win. Everybody should be doing it, right? But not everybody can discipline themselves to do it. So no, we don't get those because we bid very disciplined. And when I say we, George has bid on some, and we've even, we made a video that was last year in Norwalk. So we made a video where we bid against each other on the same unit on purpose. And frankly, we found $15,000 worth of jewelry in there. We bid 400. So did I pay more than I wanted for that unit because we were joking, bidding against each other on the same unit? No. It was still under the threshold. We were doing it because it's a great story for YouTube. We were bidding against each other. And that, so, what's the story? What's the story? It was a great video, great story for YouTube. And we made a ton of money. And so we don't, I understand every other storage unit buyer out there is going to go, yes, you lose money. You always lose money. 8 out of 10 are garbage. No, if you buy right, you always make money. And so if you follow the principles that we teach you on the channel, you will never lose money.
Well, I mean, if you pass up 9 times out of 10 on different lockers and say this one's no good, this one's no good, I'm going to pass. You're more selective. I understand. So I got a question. What happened to that video when you bought that garage full of video games? Did you do pretty good on that deal? How did that go?
Oh, we're still selling them. Yeah. That was during COVID. So yeah, from the guy in Worcester. Yeah, we're well within the profit margin. But yeah, we still have a ton of them down in the garage. So those didn't go to the warehouse. Those came straight to the garage. Because I love video games.
I saw that. I was like, he's going to make some money. I was like, I think he paid a little bit too much, but he's still going to make a good profit on that deal. But yeah man, yeah. So can you talk a little bit about your warehouse? I heard you guys had a recent break-in. Can you tell about what happened? And tell me about how big your warehouse is. If someone wanted to start buying storage lockers, how big of a storage unit or warehouse would they need to store all the merchandise?
Well, I think if you're going to start, you don't need to be at the place that we're currently at. So when I started as a teenager, I certainly wasn't there. I didn't even own my own home yet. So you have to scale your business as it grows. And you have to grow with your business. So a lot of people go, well, I don't have space to do storage units. And of course, storage unit facilities are in the business of renting you space. So you can always rent space. That's another business expense. You have to sell, though. You have to sell to pay for it. That's like me paying employees to list on eBay. They generate their own income. So if you rent space, you have to generate income to pay for that space. In regards to the warehouse where we're at, did I just lose him? I either lost Jeff or Jeff lost me. Can you guys let me know? Am I still in or is Jeff out? Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry. I pressed the wrong button by accident. Go ahead.
Okay. In regards to our space in Worcester, we're in the industrial area of Worcester. It is also the worst area of Worcester. It's where all the homeless are. It's where the drugs are, the whole deal. And so our industrial space is an old pickle factory. It's very run down. The landowner will do nothing, put nothing into it, and we have a dispute with the landowner. The building that we are in is 10,000 square feet total. We do not use all 10,000 of those square feet, but we believe that we will be owning that whole 2.5 acres and the other 40,000 square foot building here shortly. And once we do, then we will use all of that space. And frankly, one of the things we're going to do with that 2.5 acres is the current 10,000 square foot building will stay, but the other building is going to come down and we want to put up storage unit. We want to put a full facility there.
That's cool. Yeah, I got a little shed and a 5-bay garage in my backyard, so it's not a huge warehouse, but I think it's big enough where if I wanted to, I could probably go buy a storage locker or two. I just haven't got around to doing it because I don't have a big truck, I don't have a van, I don't have a big trailer. I drive a little Prius, so it's like I don't want to go get a whole trunk and a whole back seat full of boxes and junk, and then you have to sweep the storage unit locker out and all that. But you have found some really good items though.
But here's the way to get around that, Jeff. You got a Prius, you go, I don't have a truck. And we hear this all the time from people. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I will tell you that anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And so, again, if you buy a storage unit, what's the storage unit facility in the business of? Selling
storing things.
All right, so you actually rent the storage facility for a month and you sell everything in that storage facility for a month. You post everything on Facebook Marketplace. You have them meet you there at the storage facility. You didn't move it. You didn't store it. All you did is rent the space for a month and you worked it and it generated income. So doing storage units and storage unit auctions, you don't have to have the equipment I have. Yep. I have a very expensive truck. Yep. I have 2 20-foot trailers that I pull around, dual axle. 10,000 square foot warehouse, and I don't use all of that space. We know a lot of successful resellers that don't have anything that we have, and they are extremely successful because they find solutions to the problem. And honestly, the solution's right there. You buy the unit, you rent the unit, and you work it. and you sell it, and then it's clean at the end. A lot of buyers, what they'll do, they will buy a unit, they'll post it on Craigslist that day. They'll say, come pick whatever you want, or they'll sell the entire unit on Craigslist. Maybe they bought it for $100. They'll put it on Craigslist and flip it for 500. Boom, like that. All they do is flip it. They won't even look through it. Now, I do it. I know this is going to sound so silly to people. I do storage units because I do it for fun. It's a hobby. So I'm a landlord who was bored to death, who's also a reseller, but the reselling, I don't even know how to explain my life. The reselling was to fill the gap, because as a landlord, all I do is I get rent and I fix anything that's broken, or I hire it out. But storage units is my fun hobby, which all of my hobbies generate income. So
yeah, I was going to say that coincides with your YouTube channel, so it works out.
It all coincides. So the YouTube channel for me is fun. And there are times where it's just downright stressful and we hate it too. And not hate it, but don't like it as much. But starting the new What the ASMR channel has got us reignited and excited about YouTube. And you don't have anywhere near the trolls on a new channel, and you don't have anywhere near the haters on a new channel, and all that negative garbage that we don't like putting up with. But it just for me, the side hustle is a hobby that generates money, and my life has always been like that. I got into guitars. I bought and sold 50 guitars when I was in my teens, and I was like, man, I'm making money off of this. I should keep doing this. And I would get into video games. I was not a gamer. I was a flipper. I would buy, sell. Video games paid for all my college debt free. I paid my first house off. I bought my first house at the age of 20. I paid my first house off in under 3 years. I was a landlord at the age of 21 because of financial stewardship, because not spending more than you make and investing. And so I understand the majority of people, 95% of Americans, they live paycheck to paycheck. They don't understand what I'm saying. And I can't comprehend living paycheck to paycheck. I can't realistically comprehend not saving, not investing, and not generating more income. So I know there's a disconnect when I talk about those things, which is why I generally don't talk about those things on What the Hales, because of the disconnect. But that it really is. It is that simple. It's that simple to make money in America. And there's so much opportunity. It's ridiculous. It's just, you got to be hungry for it. Don't give up and keep going for it.
All right, Jeremy. So I don't want to keep you much longer. We're almost at an hour mark, guys. Who've been live streaming for an hour. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Give me your top 2 or 3 tips. If someone wants to get started in reselling, maybe they're doing it part-time and they want to go full-time. Maybe they're doing $500 or $1,000 a month in sales right now, and they're trying to get to $10,000 a month. Like, how do they do that? I go out sourcing every day and I go listing items every day, but I just want to get, if you could give us some pro tips on how to do that.
If they want to get started, the first thing I would say is buy a storage unit, but that's easy for me to say. But the reality is the money, the merchandise you're going to receive per price for a storage unit per piece is pennies on the dollar. And so you're going to buy cheap when you buy in bulk with a storage unit, and then you can work that way. But if you can find other ways online, Alibaba, whether you do, whatever, there's a million different routes. Find what you're going to buy. And again, for me, it's storage units. For somebody else, it may be something else because of their region, because of what they have offered to them. Silly as it sounds, and again, I understand it sounds silly, but when Walmart first came out, J. Rue, which is a toy company, came out with Flarp, which we've all heard it. It's the fart putty. And when Walmart first started carrying that, I did not buy Flarp. I listed Flarp on eBay. Every time I would buy 5 cans of Flarp for 99 cents a piece, $5. I would sell it on eBay for $24.99 plus shipping. And then I would go to Walmart and I would pick up all the Flarp and then ship it. Now, that's a dangerous thing to do. All I did to make $20, and I would sell 1 or 2 a day. All I did was click relist.
It's funny, Jeremy. Go ahead. I've done something like that before, similar before in the past, where I had an item listed, and then as soon as it's sold, I would go grab it and box it and ship it. So I've done that before.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for storage. Somebody else can store it. And literally, you don't have to carry the merchandise. So there are ways. You just have to be creative and find them. Not everybody's going to be at the scale that I'm at. And there are people that are at a bigger scale than I'll ever be. And you have to find the appropriate scale for you and then grow from that point. So find what it is you want to sell, how you're going to sell. I would also encourage find the greatest market for that, the platform. Which I'm going to tell you it's eBay. It doesn't mean I'm right, just is what I think. I think it's eBay. It works very well for me because it has the largest consumer populace on there searching for items that I sell. And then you just consistently have to do it. The same as YouTube. You have to do it. You have to list. If you don't list, you're not going to sell. If you're on YouTube and you want to have a successful YouTube channel, if you don't post videos, and if you don't increase your average view duration and your click-through rate, you're not going to grow your channel. So it's really that simple. All the principles apply to reselling and YouTube and the whole deal. I mean, the principles apply to every aspect of life.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're saying increase your average view duration, it's almost like increasing your average sell price on eBay. So you're saying, okay, I was selling, an average sell price was $15, now it's $25. So you're having to list less items. But you guys heard it straight from Jeremy, because I say the same thing: is you got to list items. I try to list items every single day, because if you don't list them, they're not going to sell. Going out sourcing and getting merchandise is fun, but if you put it in a closet and it just sits on the shelf and you don't list it, it's not going to sell. So, hey, it's been an hour. I want to appreciate What the Hales for hanging out with me. And, hey, George, I know I didn't get to see you, but I hope you're feeling better. I just wanted to say hi to you, and I hope you get feeling better. And thank you guys for hanging out today. Give me your final thoughts, What the Hales, and we'll let you go.
My final thought. What's your final thought, George? My final thought is, what the Hales are you thinking for your final thought, George? Let me give you the microphone. Step up to the mic. What's your final thought?
Crickets.
Oh my gosh.
Crickets.
Hey,
there you go.
I'm gonna link What the Hell's channel down below. If you guys haven't seen him, you got to go check him out. Jeremy always makes me laugh, and you got to go check out George and her lucky bag at the casino. It seems like she always wins. I never see you lose. So
I promise you that is not the case.
I'm telling you, I saw your video. You start off with like $25 and walk out of there with like 2 gold bars. So I don't know.
There have been a couple losing videos, and that we actually have shown where she's lost, and then we have to go through the process again. But again, gambling. We get people messaging us constantly about that as well. Do not gamble. We've got people messaging us saying, "I don't have any money. I've got to go there." No, you don't. You need to go work. And you need to generate the money. This is play for us.
And look, it makes for a great YouTube video.
Well, it's a great storyline. It's exhausting watching her lose all day too. So, but you don't see that because that wouldn't increase view duration. Winning increases view duration. You see how that all applies to YouTube channel as well.
Right, I got it. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out, and look me up. And you come to Tampa, look me up, Jeremy. We'll hang out sometime, okay? You guys have a great. Hey, it sounds like a good time, and you can show me some stuff about storage lockers, and I can show you guys the beach, and we'll just be chilling and having some nice drinks, and go out to a restaurant right by the beach on the ocean. Watch the sunset, maybe do a little bit of fishing, go out on a boat. It'll be awesome. I'll see you guys, man, and I'll reach out to you, have you on the channel again sometime soon, okay? Hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. Bye.
Appreciate it.
All right, bye.